Hello and welcome to Jeremiah Wonders. Usually I do the intro on the audio only version of this podcast. I'm trying to streamline everything, so I'm going to start including the intros and I'll try to keep them short. We weren't able to get to the kindness challenge in time on this episode with Mikey McKernan and Omar Nava, so I'm going to actually do it right now. Welcome to the kindness challenge. Every week, I challenge you guys, the listeners, as well as myself, to do something nice out of the kindness of your heart for a stranger, or it could be somebody that you know. It doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter how small, as long as you are contributing something positive to society. And I always have people write in letters, and this one sent this in from, actually, I don't know where. They saw me in Minneapolis recently, they said, and what I like to do with these is I like to wonder what they might sound like, and some people have been including what they sound like for me to act that out, and I'm going to read their letter and what I think that their voice sounds like. They said that her voice sounds like Minnie Mouse if she were from Minnesota or Canada. So let's take a crack at that.
Hi, Jeremiah. My husband Jeff and I are big fans of your show and Kiltony. We recently saw you in Minneapolis during the summer tour. I wanted to submit something we recently did for the Kindness Challenge. I feel a little weird submitting because when we do random acts of kindness, it's usually something we keep quiet and I don't want the act to feel like bragging. Maybe this is the Midwest thing. I decided to submit because every week I listen to your show. It helps give me ideas for how I can look for ways to help others in places and you don't always think of. And I wanted to spark that in someone else. Tonight, my husband and I celebrated our second wedding anniversary at a local pizza place where we got engaged. In a photo booth, actually. We had our pizza and then asked for a to-go box for the other half we didn't eat. As we were leaving, we saw a family on the side of the road with two little girls and one baby who was probably 3 to 4 months old. They had a sign asking for money for a hotel room or any food. My husband and I hardly ever have cash on us, just our cards, so we had no money to give, but we also have a baby girl who is 9 months, and our hearts immediately broke thinking about what they must be going through. We pulled over and I jumped out to give them our leftovers we had from dinner. We also emptied our diaper bag and gave them all our diapers and extra baby food we had in the car for their newborn. The woman was so thankful and had tears in her eyes, and the husband didn't speak English but had the biggest smile on his face. We wished we'd had cash to give them, but I was so thankful I was able to provide them with some baby supplies. It was a really cool way to end our anniversary dinner, helping to share our love with a family who is in need. We love your show and all the positive vibes you put in the world. Would love to see your stand-up if you ever come back to Minneapolis. Love, Jen and Jeff, Teschendorf.
Wow, that is quite the story. Thank you so much for doing that to those people. I'm sure that brightened their day, and I challenge the rest of you to do something nice like that as well. Send in your kindness challenge letters to jeremiahwonders@gmail.com, and I will read them on the show. I want to thank the sponsors of this show, Speedweed. That's where we're actually recording this new episode with Gage Tijerina, GageTijerina. He has a gun to my head off camera right now. He loves those plugs, so follow Gage on social media at Speedweed. As I said, we're recording out of the new studio space. Super grateful to them. We got a lot of exciting stuff going on. Bronx Born Pizza, they hooked us up with the equipment for here, and Menchey Music, my saxophone, any music-related needs, check them out. And then Monday.com is our ad for this week, which will air a little bit later in this episode. This episode is brought to you by MyBookie. If you found $100 on the street, would you pick it up or would you keep walking? Of course you take the money. So why do you keep picking winners and not betting on them? That's why you should go to MyBookie. It's fast, it's easy, and they pay you when you win. Let's face it. Where you're betting is just as important as who you're betting on. Do the smart thing. If you're going to bet this season, bet with MyBookie. Did you know that you can bet on games after the kickoff? If by the second half it looks like your team is going to lose, you can always just switch to the other side. What? If you're the kind of guy who likes to bet a little bit and win a lot of it, try a parlay. What's a parlay? If all your picks come through, you'll multiply your winnings, and no matter how you bet, the NFL season is the best time of the year. Join now, and MyBookie will double your first deposit. Use promo code WONDERS to activate the offer. That's promo code WONDERS. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. MyBookie. Promo code WONDERS. And follow me on social media at Jeremiah Standup, youtube.com/Jeremiah Watkins. Subscribe if you're already here. Go to jeremiahwatkins.com and get the latest Kill Tony merch. We have a new Kill Tony band calendar as well as a Bison t-shirt. And there's Jeremiah Wonders shirts and stickers up there, so go get yours now. If you are a company that would like to sponsor this show, email jeremiahwonders@gmail.com for any info on that. And you can also submit music to jeremiahwonders@gmail.com for us to possibly play in the intro of this pod. And keep sending your art into the show. I love featuring that on my Instagram page as well as this YouTube channel. Thank you to everybody that submitted logos and Jeremiah Wonders cover art. We are going to find one soon, and then that will be the new logo for the show. And thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I love this episode that I did, this roadcast with Mikey McKernan and Omar Nava. I've known Mikey and I've known Omar for a long time. Mikey through the stand-up scene. We get into that. And then Omar, he's one of the first people who I became good friends with in Los Angeles. We've done sketch together, stand-up, a lot of stuff. And it was just a good ride, on our way to Santa Ana. It was only like a little over an hour outside of LA. So you'll see that we recorded just for about an hour and we had to finish it actually in a parking garage. So without further ado, please enjoy this episode of Jeremiah Wonders with Mikey McKernan and Omar Nava. Yeah, another new episode of the Jeremiah Wonders Roadcast, joined by a couple of pals that you may or may not know. Maybe we'll get to know them better throughout this episode. We have Mikey McKernan, who's driving right now.
Hey there, how are ya?
That's how he talks. That's how he's going to talk this next hour. Hi there. Hi, how are you? That's how he just naturally talks. It's very exciting. And then we got longtime buddy Omar Nava in the back. How you doing, Omar?
Yo, what up?
Yo, dude. Basically we are driving up or down?
Down.
Going
down.
south. We're going south to Santa Ana. I don't think I've ever been here before. Obviously, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm going. Yeah, that's why I agreed to go.
Still haven't been banned.
I still haven't been banned there. So it's very exciting times. We're doing a show on the road up there, doing a stand-up show in Santa Ana tonight, and I figured, what would make it a better experience than doing a little roadcast with the pals on the road. And I've been wanting to get both of you on individually for a while on the show, and it just happened to work out perfectly that we are road dogging it to Santa Ana. Santa Ana. This is actually the birthplace of Carlos Santana. Carlos Santa Ana.
This drive is anything but smooth right now.
Yeah, we're in traffic.
Yeah. Mikey's play-by-play is very on point right now.
Yeah.
Basically, is this your cell phone in the bottom of the frame? This is literally his directions that are guiding us right now.
This trip's brought to you by Google Maps.
Yeah, brought to you by Google Maps. What's different a little bit right now out of driving out of LA, usually on these roadcasts, it's long strips of open road. We've been in kind of standstill traffic on the way out of LA right now, and we're just now hopping on the freeway. And before we started the podcast, Omar was telling about an apartment fire that we passed by. He's like, "You guys remember that apartment fire?" Tell us about that, Omar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was just this like massive apartment complex that was getting built up, and well, first off, I hated it before it was even built because they have like others that are very similar to it. Like architecturally, it's the same design, and they're all given this like Italian name. Like there's like the Medici and the DiCaprio, or maybe not DiCaprio, but like other like names like that, and they all have the same style. And there's just like another massive one getting going up right next to the freeway, and then they determined later that I think it was arson, like someone like purposefully threw I don't know if it was like a Molotov cocktail or something. They like lit it on fire, and then it was just like this massive blaze that I could see from my apartment. I used to live like a mile away from it, and it was just like this like crazy huge flame like on the horizon and all this like black smoke. It was insane.
Do you think any mobster has ever gone to a bar and tried to order a Molotov cocktail? I would like a Molotov cocktail, please. Sir, we don't serve that here. No, I need one for parking lot immediately. No, sir. We regret to inform you, we actually took it off our menu a while ago. We were having a lot of car fires in the parking lot. This neighborhood isn't the best part of town.
It's like, and sir, can we please get that rag back from you as well? You cannot take that rag from us. That is stealing.
Why can I not have this bar rag? I just dipped in gasoline. Is not okay?
Okay, all right, sir. I guess the best we can do is we'll just give you the ingredients so you can just make it yourself, but we won't make it for you.
Okay, do you have like some kind of a starter kit or something like this?
No, sir, but you can grab matches at the host stand before you leave.
You guys are very accommodating for making car bombs.
Don't forget to review us on Yelp.
Okay, I will say on Yelp that your car bombs are off the charts fun. Very, very good. I realized while we were doing that bit, Mikey is changing lanes, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you want to jump? Oh, okay, yeah, he's freaking driving. We're doing this roadcast, and Mikey's like, yeah, I'll jump in a second, Jeremiah. As much as I want to riff. Whoa. Oh my! And now we're on the.
Honestly, that's a better frame.
On the off streets. You like this better?
No, I don't know. It's the same. It's
the same.
We're gonna get some good lighting.
I mean, there's a lot of artistic lighting going on. It's gonna get better as the podcast goes on. The harsh sunlight's kind of coming in and out during the podcast. But I think that you're really in on this. I mean, you're literally seeing Mikey's cell phone giving us directions at the bottom.
Guys, this is LA comedy right here. This is unfiltered.
It really is. Welcome to Raw Dog Traveling.
Raw Dog Road Dogs.
Man, I'm having sex with both these guys in the car on the way back.
Hell yeah, no protection.
No protection.
Except the mics.
That's the I know the mics are the only things that have condoms on them. Yeah. Like I'm a weird germaphobe where I'm just like, no, I don't want anything near my mouth, but my butt's free game. It's a cesspool back there, but my mouth, I gotta make sure it's good for camera. I want to talk about kind of how I know both of you guys separately and togetherly. Omar, I have done sketch with for years. There's a jogger that we almost just hit right now.
He's safe, by the way.
People keep saying that they're expecting an accident to be captured on one of these roadcasts eventually, which I really hope doesn't happen. Yeah. But Omar, so I met you, we used to go to this open mic called IO West, Improv Olympic West, where Jade Catapretta would host that mic.
Yeah.
And we got to know each other there. That was when Omar had hair down to his teats, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I think
almost like Mikey's length.
Yeah, well, the thing with Mikey's though, if you straighten his hair out, it'll be like way longer.
Yeah,
mine was already. I have like really straight hair, so it was already just down to my nips, and that's the longest it got.
Nice, dude.
You had long hair too.
I had really long hair. Yeah, I had long hair for years. But yeah, we're both short-haired boys with Mikey right now.
Yeah, freshly shorn.
But I met you through that, and then we started making sketches together. We were in a sketch group for years called Gringo Sketch, which I encourage you guys to look up if you want to see some early days of some sketch debauchery with Omar, myself, Gil Garibaldo,
sillies,
John McCarthy, Chris Edwards. It was a pretty sizable sketch group. We had like 5 guys in it.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of goofing. And I still like a lot of our videos. Like
a lot of them still hold up to me.
I was really kind of bummed that we just didn't gain a lot of traction on our videos for whatever reason.
Yeah, so it's we did it in a time of YouTube and also in a time of our careers where the market was probably at the peak of oversaturation of sketch.
Yeah, everyone had a sketch group.
Everybody had a sketch group, which is now it's actually rare again for that to happen, which we should probably be doing it right now. Anyway, got to work on that.
How about a sketch of a guy ordering a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, I think it has legs.
Yeah.
But a lot of those sketches, if you type in Gringo Sketch on YouTube, they only have, some of them only have a few hundred views. So I'm going to repost them to my Instagram now since there's more people out there who are willing to click on my stuff. And I just got to caption some of that. That's just the annoying part. I just got to recaption some of those videos and stuff like that. But there's a lot of them that still hold up, which I implore you guys to check out.
Yeah, there's some bangers.
There's some bangers. We were a finalist in a Funny or Die competition years ago.
2013?
2013.
15?
Also, this is the infamous sketch group that I've mentioned on other podcasts that this was a video that never got released where we joked about the skin cancer on my back, where we literally spelled out the word cancer in the moles connected on my back, and then I ended up actually having cancer.
The one mole that inspired that sketch was
the cancerous
mole.
one. Yeah, so that's a little fun fact about the integrity and the savviness of that sketch group was. They're like, yeah, let's make fun of Jeremiah's cancerous mole, and it indeed was.
Yeah, it wasn't, hey man, you should get this checked out. It was, hey man, we should make a sketch about this.
That's exactly the tone of it. It's like so funny.
Oh,
we joked about a lot of tropes though that we were saying. Well, we had one buddy who we had this cancer sketch. We did actually put out this sketch about pregnancy, and one of our buddies actually is now a father. Which is
check your camera, make sure it doesn't slide over.
Oh yeah, during this turn, you got
predicting the future.
I know we were joking about for a little bit that we were starting to predict the future with Gringo Sketch, like we were way ahead of our time, like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Mikey, do you remember how we met originally? I know it's through the open mic scene, but
I can't actually recall. It's just seeing out on the scene. I just remember seeing you at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, I remember. Well, okay, so one of the original places that I knew you from, you used to do this show called Turbo Tuesdays.
Oh yeah.
And you and was it Bombo who used to book it?
No, it was my buddy Robert Turo.
Oh, Robert Turo.
Over at the Universal
Bar and Grill in North Hollywood. Yeah, a weekly bar show I ran. I used to call it Terrible Tuesdays. Or, I'd say a terrific, shitty bar show. And that would be like, okay, some comics will want to do that and some comics wouldn't. But anytime you can find stage time late night, So that was where you learn to grow your legs, grow some hair on your comedy chest.
Yeah, it was one of those bar shows it was pretty much a gauntlet. Like you would see pretty quickly who was strong enough of a comic to kind of survive and not get really shook. And then there was other people who just have meltdowns there, which was pretty entertaining to see. How long did you do that show for, Mikey?
I did it for about 7 years. Yeah, that was weekly, 7 years. Turo eventually moved home to Houston. Bombo, you mentioned, helped me out a couple times. And I had another buddy, Daniel Vargas, who'd help me out kind of run the show. Because you got to do that, if you're going to run a show, you want two comics to do it, You can always have a good cop, bad cop scenario. Or if, you just don't want to do it one night, you're like, okay, man, I can't make it tonight. You better hold the fort.
Well, the thing that's kind of funny to me about anytime I've done a show, like you said, the good cop, bad cop thing, I've experienced that a lot. With any time there's two people running the show, I'd be like, hey, when am I going up? And the host would play down with me. They'd be like, I don't know, check in with the other host. And then the other host would be like, yeah, I'm not sure. I think that they have the lineup now. It would be like this ping pong because back in the day, you would not ever be told when you were going up on these shows. Because you also counted as bodies, as audience members for the show. So people wanted you to stay and just be around for as long as possible. So you get booked on a show and you know, you'd have people come to see you, maybe if you're lucky enough, and they'd be like, oh, what time are you going on? And you'd be like, I have no idea. I don't know if I'm going up like first or if I'm going up as the very last comic, but we're making a night out of this.
I mean, if your friends are there, then you're probably going last because they would leave right after you go.
Well, that's the thing. They're like, well, okay, so Omar brought 4 people. So Omar's the new headliner of this show. He just got graduated to that. Yeah, man, 7 years is a long time running a show. It's crazy. I'm hitting 9 years with stand up on the spot this year, which is insane.
Wow.
To have been doing that show like all over town. Really.
Do you have something in mind for like the 10 year?
No, hopefully it'll just sell as a as a show by then. But you never know. Maybe maybe it's the 10-year rule for my show. Yeah. I'd like to see it as there's different philosophies behind it. Whether some comics just want to use it for just to hone their material. I see it as both. I see it as a way, as its own separate art form where it could live as its own show somewhere, because the response anytime I get to post clips that the comedians that are cool with it, it's an overwhelming positive response that people, they just like, the more that comedy fans come out and the more these podcasts that are happening, the more people want to see the inside process of how jokes are formed and seeing somebody develop some material right in the moment. So it's pretty fascinating for comedy fans, but I also understand on the flip side of the artist side of it, where some people want to keep the integrity and privacy of the joke. So it's a coin that kind of goes back and forth, but I think it'll live somewhere someday. So we'll see.
Are you talking about how you'd like to put it on like TV or like something like that? Is that what you have a goal for?
Yeah, and it maybe not even be TV, but I would love to do even a stand-up on the spot special, like an improvised special where it's me and a group of comics that really enjoy doing the show, and that I would even love to hit the road with it, where we hit different cities and we're doing improvised sets in different cities. And I think Omar is our guide for like anytime a curve is coming up, because I'm in La La Land, just like
it's like I'm hosting a podcast.
I know, trying to keep this thing going. But yeah, that's a dream that's for me that's been in my mind for a long time. So we'll see.
I think it's a great idea because you feel like stand-up gets lost when you go to a medium of like a show or a special, because it's not live. And I think that's a great idea with the show, because it's creating live stuff. You're like, this is live, material that we're creating right now for the show. And I think it makes the bridge from live stand-up comedy to recorded comedy more better, in my opinion.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people who are not well versed in stand-up comedy, they actually think that's what stand-up actually is. They're like, oh yeah, so you just like kind of work off the crowd kind of, and they're like,
dude,
well, no.
I get that so many times.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so do you know what you're gonna say when you go up there?
Yep.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
You're like, I've been sweating over these jokes for so long. Yeah. But anyway, we are headed to Santa Ana on the off-roads in Los Angeles right now, and the sun is slowly setting behind us. I usually do these roadcasts very midday on these long stretches, but wanted to get one in because I really don't know the next time I'll be driving for a bit between gigs, since we completed our summer tour with Kill Tony recently. You've been on one thing I really like about you, Mikey, is how much of a hustler you are and how hardworking of a comedian you are, because I see you posting all the time of all the different spots that you're doing, and we were talking with Omar before the podcast started how much you even hit the OC area, which for people who may live outside of Los Angeles may think that that's a close kind of easy thing, but it's kind of a hike to get out there and get back, it's usually, at least with traffic and everything, it can be between an hour and a half to 3 hours even to do a show out there. So what's your what's that kind of been like over the years of kind of hustling? Because I've been seeing you grind for quite a while, and I really respect that. And this is one of the reasons I want to get you on the podcast, outside of being a good buddy over the years. But yeah.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. It's well, we're so lucky that stand-up doesn't want to take any nights off. So, to me, it's, I'm trying to work on more longer sets. That's kind of like, you got to just set yourself kind of a goal, and with that, it's getting out of Los Angeles to do longer sets, and especially, going to like places like Orange County, I try to go find rooms that I've never done before. And so, and then to be honest, like what really started was I listened to Ari Shaffir's Septic Tank about Mitzi Shore, and he talks about how she told him to stop doing open mics. And he was like, what are you talking about? I do open mics all the time. And, if I don't do any open mics, I'm barely not doing any comedy. So he just started getting himself booked more and hitting up, spots. So whenever I'm on social media, and any flyer that would come down, I would have no shame to just send out, hey, I'd love to be considered. If I know anybody who's on the show, I'd ask them about it, and I'd, ask them if I can, hey, is it cool if I drop the name, or, just new rooms that, just never see me, and that gives me more like excitement to be excited about jokes that I gotta do over and over again, or I gotta, is this gonna have get or not? And next thing you know, you might be making a little money, but then again, it's, you gotta drive so much everywhere. But I think it's good to get your legs going for like long drives and stuff.
Absolutely. As we're going over railroad tracks, it's so funny. I think at one point, I don't know if you said Septic or Skeptic. But it's Skeptic. I think you said Septic, which is a very different Ari Shaffir show.
Podcast.
Ari Shaffir's Septic thing, and we'll be talking about my crap today, and I just pretty much interview people about their poops. So you're gonna get got Omar Nava on the show today. Omar, how's your last poop?
Oh man, it was honestly, it was pretty good. I incorporated some veggies into my diet last night.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Slipped right out.
Nice. Mikey, what about so what's going on with your poops, or what's going on?
I was a little disappointed with mine today. The buildup was kind of like, oh, I can't wait to have this, and then what came out was a little underwhelming. But I mean, pretty easy cleanup. Not much time to sit in there.
You got catfished.
Yeah, I did. I got bowed catfish.
All right, this has been our Septic Tank. So yeah, it's a very different show. So, Omar, I want to ask you, buddy, because I think this will be interesting for comedians that are listening, and also just something that is just something interesting that I would like to know a little bit more about behind the scenes. You did something, you did the writing program for the CBS Diversity Showcase.
Yes, sir.
And walk me through kind of how that process works, and basically what that is, because that's a big deal, and it's a hard thing to get into. And you recently did that, and I went and saw the sketch show that you wrote on, and it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. So it's a lot of these networks have like a writing program that they do every year. This one was specifically geared towards sketch comedy, so like Saturday Night Live type. And yeah, you just like submit. Well, I think they, without saying it, they are looking for diversity in comedy. So like women, people of color, different like sexual orientations, basically anyone who's not a straight white male. Although we did have some of those guys.
Hello.
Hi. We also had some of those guys in the room too.
Sure.
But yeah, just kind of like just trying to diversify the voices of comedy writers and stuff. And so you submit like a sketch packet, I think really just 2 or 3 sketches, and then you get selected, hopefully. And then the process is kind of intense. Like I heard it was a lot of writing, but I don't know, I guess I wasn't. It's always different to like hear something and then when you actually do it. Like at the beginning, the first like 2 or 3 months, it was maybe twice or 3 times a week. And my goal was to like submit a new sketch for every rehearsal that we had. Okay, so the way it works is we would meet that many days a week, and then the writers would submit their sketches the night before, and then the head writers would select like 20 or 25 that would get rehearsed just the next day, just kind of like cold reading.
Yeah.
And then anything that's like funny like moves on. Anything that isn't just kind of dies on the spot.
Now, is that pretty brutal? Is that pretty cutthroat when those are being read, like in that environment where you're kind of seeing sketches being axed in front of the writers and seeing kind of moved on, or do they handle it pretty diplomatically?
No, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. It's like, all right, next, or all right, this one gets a rewrite or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
our review is yikes.
No, so I don't know, maybe coming from stand-up, like it was no big deal for me because, I mean...
You didn't hang as much weight on it maybe as some of the people who came from like the improv or sketch background.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
the stakes are a little bit lower for you is what you're saying, maybe.
Yeah, and also like, we've cut our teeth on these open mics where you take jokes and then they die and then you maybe rework them or maybe just let them go.
And your insides die a little bit every time the joke dies. And
but you get a little more numb to it. Your little bit of your soul dies, so there's no soul
hurt
left.
myself today.
So I had no issue with my sketches not like advancing, but like other people, like you could tell they were like, oh man, I've put that sketch up like in my sketch group like hundreds of times, and I'm like, well,
it's a fail safe.
Yeah. So anyway, so we did that. And so like 2-3 times a week, 20-25 sketches. My goal was to have at least one sketch like every rehearsal. So that meant I was just writing like every night. So it did kind of hurt my stand-up for a little bit because I was devoting more time to just writing because I really was trying to like get the most out of this program. So I was submitting like all the time, like partnering, like collaborating with other writers, some of the performers who are kind of writers in their own right. And yeah, like by the end of it, I can't remember the number, but it was something like we had submitted like 1,000 sketches or something over the course of whatever 4 months, and then we had whittled it down to the last like 15 or 20. I can't remember how many are in the last final showcase.
There was that many sketches?
Yeah, like that's
insane,
dude. It's crazy. And then what's crazy is that there were so many like good sketches that just didn't
fell to the wayside. Yeah,
but also because like the showcase itself is like, it's definitely got like a mission. Like they're trying to like showcase the performers. Really, they're trying to like kind of find the next great talents that are going to be on like the CBS family of whatever sitcoms and their network.
As you kind of go, you're learning to shift your expectations and writing to kind of fit more the style of what they end up wanting to look for.
Exactly. It's like you can have like a really funny sketch, but maybe it's just too cerebral, or maybe it's just too wacky. And
was there anything too dirty that they were like, that was hilarious, that they were like, no, this is not going to fly at a CBS showcase?
Yeah, but there was also some like one sketch that got in that like this guy's like singing about, it's like a Music Man style like musical, and he's singing about this magic tonic that can cure anything, and it was just whale cum.
Oh, that was a really funny sketch.
Really funny one.
Yeah,
so like that one went through and it was fine. I guess probably because it was so like silly and over the top. But like I tried to submit a musical sketch where it was about this woman opening up like a sex dungeon, and they were like, this is too much. And I was like, oh, come on, whale cum and like spanking and BDSM.
If anything, it's an independent woman who's trying to open her own business.
Honestly, entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah. She has her license. Everything's ready to go.
Yeah. The other thing though with our year, so it's been going on for many years, this CBS sketch program, but the year that my year that I was in was the year that like Me Too and everything, all that stuff kind of happened. And our director,
it was the year I started Me Too. You know, I don't know if you saw this hashtag.
Yeah, I felt these women needed some help.
Yeah.
I'm picking the most inopportune moments, by the way, to give Mikey the mic.
It's all good.
So anyway, so the director like got fired midway through our season, and then like the
midway through harassing me,
I got him fired.
Yeah.
And then like the head lady in charge was also kind of let go for like saying like really, I don't know, like terrible things to the performers in years past. So we like pivoted halfway through, and because of that, I think there was a kind of like a microscope or a magnifying glass, whatever the term is. They were looking at our showcase,
every nook and cranny to make sure
are you guys gonna be
those PC.
So we couldn't really push it too far. Like they played it very safe our year compared to other years. But it was still fun. It was a lot of fun just writing that much. That was a muscle that I hadn't worked out that hard.
Yeah. And you met some really good people
I met some
through
really
there
cool
too.
People, yeah.
So that's
really
dope.
good friends that I still keep in contact with that hopefully will remember me when they become famous.
So yeah, you can write on their stuff.
Hell yeah, dude.
Heck yeah, dude. Mikey, did you go to Bruco ever in that era of time?
Oh yeah, in the Westwood Village.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the mic that was upstairs.
Did you have any like wild sets there or anything? Because Omar and I would, that was like one of our places where we cut our teeth was at this joint. Just to paint a picture, it's right near the campus of UCLA. And I talked a little bit about this when I had Dave Ross on the episode of his episode of Jeremiah Wonders on the show. And it was right down the street from UCLA. People would be wasted there every Friday night when we would do the show, and it was just all college age, and you kind of have to harass people to get them in the room.
It was like they had a karaoke room right next door.
Right,
so
like literally one flight of stairs up a little bit farther.
So the comedy room was basically just a revolving door of people waiting to sing "I Believe I Can Fly" or whatever.
Yeah, which for me, that's what I would do. I was like, okay. I would sprinkle in singing impressions like with my sets, because I was like, all right, this will keep them a little bit longer, because the drunk people will be so confused they think that it might be karaoke. That was like my mindset, to keep as many audience members in the room as possible.
Oh, when is it my turn, man?
Yeah.
I want to sing Because I Got High.
Yeah. Afro Man's the best, dude. Mikey, you've done the road a lot. Do you have any nightmare stories or really bad road show experiences?
Not too much. Usually, like, you show up to a spot and they don't expect that comedy's going on. And it's funny because usually when people don't want comedy, I'll give them karaoke and I'll sing really terrible to like kind of get the room to like settle down and just pay attention towards me. But I mean, nothing. I've been lucky that it's been pretty good. I haven't really gone to some of the podunky kind of places where, you always show up and you're like, why? Who's forcing comedy onto these nice, rural people? Like, why do we have to, get them to think for a night, I guess?
At that point, it's like cruel, where you're just like you said, forcing comedy on people.
Yeah, it's so funny because we still are into a position where we show up to places and you're like, great, comedy to unsuspecting people. We go up like, hey, sorry guys, I know you weren't expecting comedy night, but hey, could you relax?
I know you're here on your anniversary dinner, but let me tell you about my dick. Oh wait, can I curse on this?
Yeah, say whatever. Say, I mean, I've had every walk of life on this podcast,
good.
So feel free to
wait,
fiddle
my
your
mom's not
faddle.
gonna hear this, is she?
Oh yeah, I'm sending it
Ooh.
to Mrs. Nava.
Gloria,
that's a great mom name.
is it?
I think she's actually calling into the show right now.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Gloria?
Yeah. Hello. That's not even how my mom talks.
Stay in it, Gloria. Gloria, I've got you on the...
Yeah. Hi,
Gloria. Gloria, you called into the show. Your son interrupted and said that's not how you sound like.
No,
but...
that is how I talk, actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why he says that.
Okay, well, I sense a little bit of an accent.
I was just calling Jeremiah to see is he behaving.
You called the podcast to ask if your son Omar is behaving in the car.
He's a good boy.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this, Mrs. Nava, but he did just use the D word.
Ay, Dios mío. He said doo-doo?
Oh, you're so sweet. No. He referenced the penal region.
Ay, Diosito.
Are you talking in Spanish now, Mrs. Nava?
See? So he was talking about prison with the penal system?
That's what you could definitely draw from that. I'm trying to be as you know, the nether regions.
Just come out. Okay, so he's talking about the Netherlands. Was he like racist or?
No, I don't. Okay.
Just say it. Just say it.
Okay. He was talking about his downstairs.
His pussy.
What? Your son? Does Omar have a pussy that I don't know about? Mikey, do you have anything to say about that?
No, I don't think he does. I mean, I know he had long hair when we first met him, but
that's the most unconfident answer to you saying you think that your friend has a pussy. He's like, I don't think he does, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know, Gloria. I don't want to lose you. Sorry, we're joking around a little bit about what's going on. Yeah, he was talking about his penis. Yeah, so he's a good boy. He's been behaving all right.
Well, you tell him that the only person who can talk about his penis is his doctor.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Omar's doctor is actually patching in on the other line. Bye, Gloria. Thanks for calling into the show. The Mr. Rickless. Mr. Rickless?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is this
Dr. Rickless?
Dr. Rickless. Sorry, Dr. Rickless. Did you call to talk about Omar's penis?
Yeah, it's not good.
I don't think that's a medical review. I don't think you can medically say.
Have you been to medical school?
No, I mean,
Well, so then, I mean.
Okay, so I'm just saying it sounds a little bit inappropriate that you're saying that my friend doesn't have a good situation down there. Mikey, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, that's not a very confident answer that you just gave as a doctor.
I mean, I think it was pretty confident. I said it's not good.
Okay, well, as a friend of Omar, you know, what scientific advice you have for us to, you know, encourage him and so much, you know, keep him positive that his thing is not working?
Well, you know, you can just tell him that
he doesn't have a pussy.
That he doesn't have a pussy, first and foremost.
Okay, definitely a doctor would not look at your penis and say, "Well, this isn't a pussy."
Have you ever been to a doctor?
Yes, I've been to a doctor many times, and never have I dethroned my robe that they give me, and they say, "Well, that's not a pussy."
Well, maybe you have a pussy.
You would hope that doctors would have more of a sense of humor in these situations, but no, there is no irony.
Well, listen, you guys leave the doctoring to me. I will treat my patients as I... Is that a legit term, doctoring?
Yeah, you can doctor a document.
Okay, I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Well, look, just tell him he doesn't have a pussy.
Okay.
Tell him he has a dick.
Okay.
And that he has a...
Is it healthy down there? What are we talking?
Well, you know, the blood flow could do better. You can increase some circulation. How do you, you know, as your professional, I love your input. How do you get more circulation to your penis? Yoga.
Is that a real thing? Wow.
That's yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Why do you think women do it so much?
They need to get circulation to their?
Yeah, they're trying to.
They're trying to get a bulbous vagina.
Bulbous. Yep. Fat lips.
You know what I like in a woman? A bulbous vagina. Almost like when you unbutton those jeans, the button shoots off the pants and just labia falls out of the flap. That's kind of what is. That's a healthy
woman right there.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, Dr. Rickless, thank you so much for calling in and giving us your medical input, because I think Mikey and I were pretty curious about how Omar's penis was doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jeremiah.
All right, thanks. Mikey, I don't know what portal we just opened, but a lot of people just started calling into the show, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I love that, people are listening live and, they're tuning in and, want to be part of the content, because this is, we need people to be part of content.
You hear that, people? We need you. We're going to toss to commercial break right now.
Listen up, because I'm going to tell you about Monday.com. Are you a tool that needs your team managed? Nope, it's a team management tool. Guess what? Aunt Flo's visiting, Aunt Workflow, and she needs your help. Monday.com organizes and tracks all your stuff in one place. It takes no time to set up, and it's easily customizable. I can't find that file. Where'd you put the file? With Monday.com, you'll never be saying those words. You can work on this from 2 freelancers all the way to working with thousands collaborating across the country. So check out Monday.com to tool your manages. To manage your tools. Monday.com is so effective that it's going to put an end to your boring meetings. You don't like boring meetings, do you? Guess what? Me neither. That's why I signed up at Monday.com/wonder. Get your 14-day trial free period there. Monday.com/wonder. One more time. That's Monday.com/wonder. Go there. Monday.com is increíble. Now go back to enjoying this Roadcast episode of Jeremiah Wonders with Mikey McKernan and Omar Nava.
And now we're going to get into this next segment called Fanning Out.
Fanning Out. Questions from fans.
All right, I reached out to people on the interwebs and asked them if they could ask Mikey McKernan and Omar Nava any questions. What would they be? And here we go. I like this question. This is a strange question. At FranzyMan on Instagram, what haunts Mikey McKernan's nightmares?
Ooh.
Snakes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm definitely afraid of snakes. If one of my biggest nightmares is if I wake up and I'm in a desert and there's just snakes everywhere.
You have a recurring dream with snakes?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like reptiles. I don't like snakes. They're creepy.
Now, what about turtles?
No, turtles are great. They're chill. You can run from a turtle.
Heck
So
yeah, you
anything
can.
fast.
Turtles are chill, dude. You can run from a turtle, dude. Like, if I lived in a different, if I lived in Jurassic Park, dude, and a turtle was crossing by, I'd be like, hey, dude, you're freaking chill, okay? So don't freaking worry about you. But if a velociraptor starts looking at me and acting like I'm like a little treat or a snack, guess what? I'm bouncing, dude. I love turtles. That's why I asked that question, because I wonder if you're pro turtles. Snakes is interesting. I bet we could look that up. You know what, Omar?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to do some research right now. Pull up on your phone, type in, because I do this sometimes. Whenever I have weird dreams, I say, what does it mean that I dream this? And the dream interpretations are usually sometimes pretty good. I dreamed recently that I kept sleeping in my dream. I kept going to sleep in my dream, which was a really weird cycle of dream because I didn't know when I was awake and stuff. And that, they said, was from me being too tired, and that me craving more sleep was the reason why I was dreaming about sleep.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So sometimes, look that up. I'm going to ask, I think there's another one for Mikey right now. Oh, well, this is just funny. At Victa on Instagram, how much puss does that sweet stash get you, Mikey? Too much?
Not enough. It's so funny right now. It's kind of a dry spell. So it's obviously
yeah, I'm driving around 2 dudes right now. It's a really bad dry spell. I
haven't gone roadhead once.
Yeah,
I've been in this car for 2 hours.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on here.
I have the meaning if you.
Okay, great. What did we come to the realization?
According to the reputable Quora website, Quora, another one of our sponsors, generally, a snake featured in a dream means that you're dealing with a difficult situation or unsettling emotions in your waking life. On the positive side of this dream analysis, dreaming of snakes could also mean that healing and transformation are taking place.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, what do you think about that, dude?
Do you think you're going through a difficult situation or unsettling emotions, or you're going through some healing?
Wow, I think I can go through both of them, to be honest, if I think deeply about it, but yeah, no,
That's why there's so many snakes.
Yeah,
One
there's
for
a
each.
lot. I mean, I try to not, think about my ex-girlfriend and think about a girl I have a crush on. That's unsettling, maybe. And then probably gonna have to move out here pretty soon. So definitely, but healing-wise, I can't really think of anything really.
This next question I'm pretty excited to ask because this is one of the weirdest questions I've ever gotten on the show. Hey, Mikey, if your girlfriend and mom swap bodies like in Freaky Friday and the only way to turn them back to normal was by making sweet love to one of them, which one would he nail?
Oh.
Mom on GF's body or vice versa? At Alan Garmars on Instagram. Thank you for that amazing question.
Wow, this one, I don't think there's a really good answer for this.
I think any answer is a good answer.
This one's walking straight to a casket, in my opinion. I'd probably say the girlfriend's body on the mom. Just go Freud with it.
So you would be your girlfriend's mind inside your mom's body?
No, it'd be
the other way.
The mom's mind in the girlfriend's body.
Mom's mind and girlfriend body. So, whew, yeah.
What would you? I imagine you probably want to do it doggy style, so you don't have to make eye contact.
Oh my goodness, this is so in depth. But
Sorry, we
great
gotta talk
point.
about all the scenarios. Dude, honestly, just don't sleep with them and then break up with your girl, and then just your mom's got a new bod, Your
Dude.
mom's young again.
Dude, a freaking banging bod, dude. This one, Omar and Mikey, you can answer this. At Jack Hour IGAN comedian. Jack Hour Eigen comedian, sorry, on Instagram. What's your favorite episode of Black Mirror, and who are your top 3 comedians of all time? Omar, you can start with this. Do you watch Black Mirror?
Yeah. I'm not all caught up, but I've seen enough episodes that I can list one.
Yeah. Or a top comedy influence, he said.
No. I'll do the Black Mirror.
Okay.
Let's see. God, there's so many good ones. I feel like the best one was sorry, you can edit this out, right? Edit out my long pauses. No, okay. The best one I think was the one where the guy they can rewind. They can pause and record through their eyes and then just rewind and replay things, and then they're just obsessed with making just reliving, or not even reliving, but just making checking up on that they did the right thing, or I guess also reliving past experiences and stuff. That one was I don't know, it was so trippy and interesting because I feel like people already do that now. They'll post something. I mean, I do this too. They'll post something on Instagram and then check it.
Be
2
nervous
minutes later.
that
just be oh God, I gotta see this, and I want to see who's seen this, and I don't know. It's for some reason that episode always stands out in my head.
And any comedy influences? Who are some of your guys, Omar?
I would say my comedy. I don't know. It's hard to say comedy influences. I'll just give you my favorite comedians.
Yeah, favorite comedians.
Nate Bargatze, Neil Brennan, and Bill Burr.
Oh, nice.
Bunch of open micers. They're they're making some noise.
Mikey, who are your guys? Or gals, of course.
Jim Carrey, Bill Hicks, and Bombo.
Heck yeah. I can see that. All those influences in the act. You've watched Black Mirror at all?
I don't,
Mikey?
actually.
It's
my
a
favorite episode would be the trailer.
The trailer is Mikey's favorite episode.
That's
Perfect.
a good one.
A lot of people are wondering. This question comes from Reddit at Hannah Bill Buress on Reddit. What is the origin of Boo Ha Ha? How did that come to be, Mikey?
That was me just telling bad jokes to my friends instead of going, "Hey yo!" I created my own catchphrase. It just a weird noise that I would do, like an obnoxious laugh.
Can you do it?
Boo ha ha.
The delayed last one is yeah, man, you turned those boos into you doing karaoke at comedy shows into ha-has by telling them jokes later on, and that's the origin of Boo Ha Ha. Oh, this is a good one. Mikey, if you could have one comedian, dead or alive, sit in your section at Bubba Gump's, who would it be and why? And this is Drowning Lifeguards on Reddit.
Man, this is a really good question. There's so many, but of course it would be Bill Hicks.
And then just what kind of conversation do you think you would get into him with when he'd sit down with you waiting on him?
I would ask him if he thinks Bob Dylan is funny, and I would ask him what he was doing the time of early Jim Carrey, and talk about those kind of times. Dang, I used to have a question that I always want to ask him, and I can't think of it right now. Has anybody ever talked about on the Roadcast how badly they got to pee?
You got to pee real bad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, we're almost there, though.
So we're
Yeah,
4
4
minutes.
minutes
We're 4
away.
minutes from the venue. This might be the first Roadcast where we finish up in a parked car because we're not quite done yet. We're getting there though. We're getting close to this. We actually started making better time once we get there. Some people are asking, and this comes from Instagram. I'll shout out the handle here in a little bit as we hold for turn. I actually forgot the question with me focusing so much on this thing sliding around. Here we go. People were asking, the negative promotion that you do. Mikey McKernan is not funny. How did that come up to be, and how how did you get into like the sticker game? Because you give out a lot of free stickers, Mikey.
It actually started with, I found at the end of a Rolling Stone magazine, I found this website called stickerjunkie.com. Shout out to them for 2006. That's how long is that? 12 years of...
13 years?
13 years, thank you. 13 years of service. Truly, I was like, what message would I put on a sticker and put out in the world? And that was, I'm not funny. And then when I told my parents that I wanted to do stand-up, they said I wasn't funny. So I was like, this is working out perfectly.
Wow, so there's some rawness and some realness associated with the T-shirts and the stickers. I try to sport my Mikey McKernan is not funny shirt, and then it's funny. Some people don't get it, and they're like, "Hey man, why are you doing that to Mikey?" And I'm like, "No, this is his merch. This is like what he like sells to people on the road." And they're like, "Oh, okay, cool."
There's an ongoing joke with Jeremiah with Jamar Neighbors. He always comes up to me and goes, "Hey, nobody's messing with you, right?" I'm like, "No, Jamar, but if I need you, man, trust me, I'll come and get you."
Yeah, that's awesome. I think we got one more question maybe, and then we'll move on to the final segment, which is we're going to do sax talk in a parked car at this outside this venue, because I would love to hear some stories of some sexual encounters with you guys. Here we go. Last question coming up. How about this one? This goes for both of you. At Swift One Sloth, what is something recommended to you that you were surprised you enjoy? This is from at Swift One Sloth on Reddit.
Something recommended.
Is that sexually you're talking about?
It could be sexually, and also people are wondering if the carpet matches the drapes, Mikey.
Sure does. You're getting hair. That's what you signed up for.
Dude, 2 points for Hannibal Burris, who got 2 questions in.
Wow.
I would say, well, since you brought up the sax talk, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we'll do that in a second, yeah.
Oh, okay. Like somebody recommended me that was, because I was thinking the sax. I would say sucking on toes.
Wow.
Yeah, that became. I was like, that's frightening, and then I learned that's not frightening. That's actually kind of fun.
Interesting. Who recommended that to you?
I don't know why, but you do look like a dude who sucks toes, dude. Like, I don't know what it is about you, your general vibe, but like you look like the dude who now is recommending it to other people. They're like, dude, toe sucking is really not that bad. So don't shame me for this, all right? Omar, have you been recommended anything that you were surprised? There's honestly the ones that usually get me are certain movies on Netflix, and I'm like, this is gonna suck, and then I watch it with my wife, and I'm like, that's enjoyable. I didn't mind that too much.
What was the last one?
Always Be My Maybe. I was shocked how good that movie is, and it has the best cameo by Keanu Reeves that I've ever seen in a movie. Period. It's the best use of a cameo of a star that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was pretty good. We watched it too, basically because everyone else was like, "Oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it."
Yeah.
I feel like though, if I knew Keanu was gonna come out. And I feel like if I hadn't known, I would have enjoyed it more.
I had no idea, dude, and I was smacked upside the head. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Did they advertise him in the trailers?
No, but by then I'd already heard people talking about him.
The hubbub about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna end this show in a parking garage. This is so funny.
That's great. I guess.
This is so
going back
funny.
to what my doctor said. Yoga was actually
yoga.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just maybe I was just like being a macho guy, and I was like, well, yoga's for chicks.
Yeah.
And then I tried it. I was like, oh wow, this is actually really
this
cool.
is life changing.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
This is so good for me. But yeah, I don't do it as often as I should or would like to, but man, whenever I do get into a nice consistent rhythm of like doing yoga throughout the week or the month, it's just so good.
Yeah. Let's get into this final segment. Sax talk. Oh, sax talk. Whenever you're ready, I'll follow you.
Okay. Yeah. So I went to a bar in my home city, my hometown of El Paso, and this, for whatever reason, I was just for every reason, I'm a guy, and every guy does this, I think, was just trying to get laid that night. So I end up like hitting on this one, like, I guess you would call her a cougar. And I wasn't expecting it. It was one of those things where I was just like, I was already kind of drunk, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I'll just shoot my shot. And so I started hitting on her, and she was immediately down. And we just keep drinking. So now we're nice and toasty, and then she's like, all right, let's go back to my place. And so we go, and the funny part is, well, the whole night was pretty funny, but when we were leaving, she's like so drunk, and yet she's like gonna drive, and I was like, are you sure? Like, maybe, like, I'm like, maybe I should drive. And she's like, no, I got this. And then she immediately backed into a truck. She like literally hit and ran and then takes off. And in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to die in the car of this cougar tonight. Sorry, I didn't know if you were going to jump in or not. So we go back to her place and we start making love. And honestly, I was amazed that this woman had such stamina. Like, like it was like I was like a young buck, a young stud, and you know, guys. I feel like young guys can go all night. I don't. Maybe older women can go all night too. Shows how much I know about the other sex. So anyway, so we're like going, and then like on our like third or fourth go, like her roommate walks in and she's like sad because her boyfriend like didn't come in. And like her boyfriend like stopped by, but then he left. And so I'm like plowing this woman next to her friend. And like she's trying to console her friend. And I didn't know if I should stop or not. But I just kept going. And then the woman is like trying to like get her friend to join. And in my head I was like, oh my God, is this gonna happen? I went from thinking I was gonna die that night to thinking I was gonna go to heaven. But her friend did not join. She left and then passed out in her room. And then after we were done, I, for some reason, felt a lot of shame. And so I just like snuck out of her house and like walked all the way home, like 3 miles. Back to my parents' house. The end.
Bravo, that was good.
Oh man,
Now the ball has
regret
been
telling
tossed
the story.
to me. Now I get to tell my sexcapades. Mine all started working at a restaurant. Some of you probably heard of. It all started with the older black bartender. I don't know if anybody knows what my favorite color is, but it's black girl. I'm a little shy guy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one to really throw my feelings out there, let a girl know what the vibe is, but I'm a flirty guy. So we're hanging out after, one night of slanging shrimp. And, we're smoking, drinking, having a good laughs. I've been throwing the flirt on, and usually when I know it's the right time to try to kiss a girl is when I'll look into her eyes. And and if she makes eye contact with me and looks down at my lips, then I know it might be consensual. Because boy, guys these days, we're getting really scared to make a move on a girl. As I was that night, I was scared to make a move, and so she made the move and decided to finally kiss me in someone else's kitchen. And as we were making out, it was one of the most awesome times. And I remember thinking that we should probably get out of here and go back to her place, and we did. Now, when I finally have the chance to know that we're going to get down, I like to slowly and take layers of clothes off one by one. And as we finally get down to our naked selves and we get into bed and we finally start making sweet, sweet love, I realized this girl gets very wet. Probably the wettest I've ever been with. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is why, but it was pretty awesome. And it gave me a lot of confidence. And I don't know if that attains to why my favorite color is black woman, but it's a story and situation I'll never forget.
Can I just say, one of my new favorite phrases is my favorite color is black woman. What, Mikey? I mean, I love it. It barely makes sense. It makes just enough sense to be like, okay, yeah, I guess I could fly as a color.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, we're parked in Santa Ana now. We've been in the parking garage for the last 5 minutes because we ended up beating traffic and it started moving a little bit faster. Omar Nava, Mikey McKernan, thank you so much for being on the Jeremiah Wonders Roadcast. Quickly plug, guys, anything that you have upcoming or just your social media.
Thanks for having me. My social media is at OmarXNava on Instagram and Twitter. I also have a Facebook comedy page, Omar Nava Comedy. And for those living in LA, this fall, I'm going to start producing a show in Highland Park. So check out my social for details. I've not yet ironed them out, but will be coming soon.
Awesome. And Mikey, where can people find you, brother?
You can find me at MikeyMcKernan.com. Also at MikeyMcKernan.com. Yeah, and at Mikey McKernan. I'm going to be at the Ontario Improv October 2nd, and hopefully on Omar's new show in Highland Park, because I will submit my tape to that flyer, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, Jeremiah.
Yeah, guys, thank you for doing this roadcast. Mikey's going to go pee and listen to, we ran out of time to do the kindness challenge on this episode, but I will do it in the intro, the audio intro on this podcast if you listen to this on SoundCloud or iTunes. And then check out the new Jeremiah Wonders merch at jeremiahwatkins.com. And there's Kill Tony stuff like the Kill Tony band calendar, Reagan Watkins on vinyl, a bunch of good stuff. Follow me on social media at Jeremiah Stand Up. If you're not already subscribed on YouTube, do it. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. We love you. Good night.